advice would you give someone who doesn't believe in a higher power, who doesn't believe in a God, John?
Okay. Where do you find your purpose? Where do you find what gives you joy? Where do you find something that gives your life meaning? Just go to that. Just what gives your life meaning? See, my life, I know matters to you, and your life matters to me. At the end of the day, you're looking for how do you really make your life a masterpiece? Now I'm looking to how to make my life a masterpiece. And we do things to be able to enjoy the moment, or even sometimes in the future. So the question is, what has to happen? What do you need to think? What do you need to believe in to make your life what you want it to be? So you have no idea what you want your life to be. I think most people want to feel like their life has purpose and meaning. I think most people want to contribute to the life of others because it makes them feel good. And if somebody doesn't believe in God, they don't believe in God. I'm not there to tell them there is a God or there isn't a God. It serves me, and it serves the way I live my life, and I don't have to convince anybody. I've studied a tremendous amount. There's always, I shouldn't say always, in our society there's usually two sources of reference: theology or religion, and science. So I've studied all of the ologies, and I've studied a lot of the science. And what is happening right now is science and theology are merging. So all of the information, and let me reframe, not all of the information, a lot of what the sages and the mystics, and a lot of what's in the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, and the Bible, and the Torah, a lot of that information was sages, people who are inspired, spirit was instilled into them, and they got information, okay, somehow, that they scribed in all these great books. Well, science is now proving a lot of what's in the great books about the power of our thoughts, about the power of us being connected. Science is now proving a lot of the things that we have had written for 5,000 years. And so if you don't believe in God, do you believe in science? If you don't believe in science, what do you believe in? And go there. Whatever serves you, go there. If you want to have a great life, what is it going to take for you to believe or not believe? I'm not there to judge somebody's beliefs, but I do know that most of our beliefs are either genetic, 50%, or learned.
Interesting.
And so if I've got a genetic predisposition to be an atheist, and then the environment that I grow up in is atheist, and all of my activities and thought patterns and experiences are around that belief, I'm going to neurologically be wired to believe that there's no God. It's not wrong. It's just the way we're conditioned. And we now know through some of the scientific research that 96 to 98% of our perceptions, our feelings, and our behaviors are because of our genetics and conditioned mind. And so if you don't believe in God, great. You believe in God, great.
There's no judgment. There's no judgment about it. Do you, John, fully believe in yourself, or do you believe to believe in yourself, it has to come from somewhere else combined?
Do I fully believe in myself? I've had insecurity issues my whole life, not good enough, not smart enough. That served me so well because I became a voracious student to prove how smart I was. And the more I studied, the more I learned, the more I realized I don't know. And today it doesn't make me uncomfortable with all that I don't know, because in that pursuit I learned a lot. I believe that there is a God that that helps manage my life. I remember the old Dear Abby poem about footprints in the sand, right? That's one of my favorite poems of all time. And it's, as you know, about a person who's at probably the worst point of their life, and they're walking on the beach and they see these footprints in the sand and say, oh, God, why is it that now I'm at the worst, lowest part of my life? I walk alone. And God said, son or daughter, the only reason you see 2 footprints and not 4 is because I'm carrying you.
I'm carrying you.
I believe that with all my heart.
John, I always end the interviews with a final question. And that is, what's your truth today?
My truth today is we're on the verge of a significant breakthrough. Ilya Prigogine in 1977 won a Nobel Peace Prize for chaos theory, studying human organisms, right? And before we evolve from one level of being to another, there's massive confusion, massive unrest, and most people look at that and feel like they got to run for the hills.
Mm-hmm. They got to hide.
The untrained eye will do that.
Stay safe.
Right now, we're experiencing that in our society. And I don't know whether it's a year in or 5 years in. In God's world, there isn't, 1 year or 5 years might be a second. But we are at the bifurcation point, that point where at 211 water is boiling. 211 water is really hot, at 212 it boils. And it becomes something different that could do different things.
Yes.
I believe we're somewhere in that, that heating up part. Mm-hmm. And that's why there's so much unrest. And that's why, the people who want to stay the same are fighting for their beliefs. The people who want to grow are expressing themselves more. They're more spiritual. They're more connected. They're more into sharing and giving because they say, you know what, time has come.
The time has come.
So I believe that we're somewhere in that bifurcation point, and I love it. I love it. And by the way, we're going to experience the exact polar opposite, okay, between the spiritual and the non-spiritual. We're going to experience the exact polar opposite. It exists always in perfect equilibrium.
Always.
Always. There is not one electron that's out of place in the universe. Not one. So if not one electron is out of place, it must be perfect. Now, to the untrained eye, it's no different than somebody looking at an X-ray and saying, I don't know what I see. I see an X-ray. But to the trained eye, you understand. It's no different than, when you have a coach. The coach can see when your stroke, if you're playing tennis, is a little bit off, or your golf swing, or your voice, or if you're in business, your mentor can see, no, don't do that, do that. The untrained eye doesn't know what it doesn't know. And I believe that from all the people that I associate with that are into learning and growing, there's definitely some wonderful unrest that's going to lead to a higher understanding of our humanity, of our love, and of, most importantly, our ability to connect with each other and God.
Fantastic, John. I actually had another question come to me.
Uh-huh.
I did, when you were just speaking. And I would love to know if I believe that you do from what you have told me. I'm going to say if to give you an out is what I'm actually doing here. But if you have a personal mantra, what is it?
Well, I don't have a personal mantra. I've got a lot of thoughts about, human potential and my potential. And we're capable of a lot more than we think we really are capable of. And we're just scratching that surface, of what we're learning about ourselves. Who are we really? We talk about being spiritual. We talk about, the intelligence within us. We talk about the interaction between the non-physical, highly intelligent universe and our thoughts, our feelings, and the collaboration that occurs. It is just magically beautiful, just so magically beautiful to observe. If you've ever looked at a flower or at the star and the sun and something and just its absolute glory and perfection, that's every second. That's every second. And so I'm just grateful to just be alive in this place at this time with the turmoil, the chaos, the uncertainty. I love it because I know on the other side there's that steam that can move a locomotive from water.
John, give me your hand. I just absolutely thank you so much for sharing yourself with everyone today that's watching.
My joy, and thank you all.